UK furthers their investigation into the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal. Deathloop, it looks like it is coming over to Xbox relatively soon. We see with the exclusivity deal that PlayStation is doing for Hogwarts Legacy content, and a pretty nice update is coming to the Xbox for PC app. All right, guys, before we get into this, I have 4 months to hit my goal of 10,000 subscribers. I see a lot of you are new to this channel. If you are, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy this video. So at the beginning of this month, we were waiting for that decision from the CMA, which is the UK competition regulator, to see what their decision was going to be on the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal, whether they were going to okay the deal and allow it to go through, or were they going to look for more information to see the impact this deal was going to have on the video game industry. And as we know, they went ahead and they required more information from Microsoft in order to see if this is something that they wanted to go into a more in-depth look into phase 2 of their investigation. And reportedly now, it looks like this is going to go into phase 2 as they are going to be expanding their investigation into this acquisition, which at the end of the day means that the chances and likelihood that this deal closes by the end of the year are probably pretty slim. Now, with this entire thing, one of the biggest things that they went over and that they were concerned about was the ability of PlayStation to be able to compete if Xbox owns Activision Blizzard. And one of the big things there is because the Call of Duty series is such a massive franchise, makes PlayStation so much money. And I guess they are questioning whether this is going to have a huge impact going forward. Sony and PlayStation have been trying to block this deal as much as they can. And I mean, from a business perspective, they probably should try to block this deal just because of the amount of money that they make off of Call of Duty every single year on their platform. They've had the marketing rights since about 2015, and it's really paid dividends for their profits. But it's unfortunate because it pretty much is showing that the CMA and these big market authorities have no real understanding of what is actually going on with this deal. Yes, Xbox is going to be owning Activision Blizzard, but they are not going to be keeping these games off of other platforms. They are going to be keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation, as they've already said, and they are going to be putting all of their games within the ecosystem, meaning that people are able to access these games across multiple different devices. And if the tables were turned, you could pretty much bet that there would be no way that PlayStation will be putting Call of Duty on to Xbox. But apparently, they say here that they had looked for more information. Microsoft did not offer any of the remedies to the concerns at that initial stage where they were trying to decide whether they wanted to enter into phase 2. So now they are going to be appointing an independent panel to scrutinize the deal in further detail and to evaluate if it's more likely than not to result in a substantial lessening of competition. Now, on top of that, they also have to go through the EU, and it seems like the EU is also going to have a lengthy investigation into this acquisition. As I say here, it's a big deal, a difficult deal. It needs an extensive investigation. So if you're hoping that this deal was going to get finished before the end of 2022, as I was, because I thought, hey, if Xbox can get this deal closed and then drop a bunch of Activision Blizzard games right into Xbox Game Pass for Christmas, for the holiday season, it's going to be a huge seller for that console, and it's going to be a huge just pick me up for a year. In 2022, Xbox hasn't really released a big first-party game. I mean, we do have Pentiment coming, which is a first-party Xbox game in November, which I'm pretty excited for. But other than that, there hasn't been anything huge from Xbox Game Studios, and this could have really solved all of those issues. I don't think it's going to happen now. This deal is still going to close, I believe, but it's probably going to close somewhere in the early parts of 2023. And we'll have to wait and see what the EU thinks, and then the FTC, and if there's going to be the same amount of pushback as we are getting now. I'm sure PlayStation and Sony, they have been sending their blocks to all of these market authorities who try their best to stop this deal from going through. Now, just to add to exclusivity, the deal, and looking if these deals are going to hurt market competition, I don't think Activision Blizzard going to Xbox is going to hurt market competition because games are going to be everywhere. But then we see stuff like this happening from PlayStation, which I think these types of exclusive deals are much worse. Whether it's coming from PlayStation, whether it's coming for Xbox, I really dislike this type of stuff. And this has to do with Hogwarts Legacy. We knew that PlayStation was getting exclusive Hogwarts Legacy content, and now we know exactly what it is. It says here, the PlayStation exclusive quest for Hogwarts Legacy has now been detailed, and PlayStation players will get a shop of your own, along with a cosmetic set and an extra dungeon, and the content will be exclusive for 1 year. And this is the list of stuff. You get an exclusive quest called Haunted Hogsmeade Shop, an extra dungeon, cosmetic set, exclusive shop to sell items, and the shop allows you to sell items and gear at better rates than anywhere else. So people are going to be making more off of their gear via PlayStation than other platforms. A recipe for the Felix Felicia's potion to temporarily show all locations and chests, and it's going to be exclusive for 1 year from February 10th, 2023 to February 10th, 2024. And you take a look at this. These are deals that are bad for gamers and bad for the industry and stuff that people shouldn't be excited about, in my opinion. I know there are people out there that are going to celebrate this, but this is a bad exclusivity deal for gamers as a consumer, because you're gaining absolutely nothing by people on other platforms not being able to experience parts of the game. The only thing you're getting from this is you're reducing the community in terms of being able to talk about some of the stuff in game that tons of people are going to be playing once Hogwarts Legacy releases, because it looks like an incredible game. It's unfortunate. We saw PlayStation do this all the time. You think about Call of Duty and the exclusive content that they held with all the marketing rights over the years. And at the end of the day, this type of stuff hurts gamers and hurts the industry more so than Xbox getting Activision Blizzard and putting their games on multiple platforms. So if you're somebody who has Xbox Game Pass on PC, you use the Xbox app to launch and play all of your games, there is a nice update coming that I think is going to be a great improvement over what we have right now with the app. They aren't changing the layout. They aren't changing all of that type of stuff. I think the layout and how the app actually works is pretty good, but I found the app pretty slow to load, and it just isn't right all the time. I guess that's the best way to put it. Now they're making some features that I think is going to really solve a lot of these issues, as well as adding a really cool feature for a website that I use all the time. So first of all, they're adding how long to beat integration into the Xbox app, which is going to give you estimations for the main story of the game and estimates for additional quests, 100% completion, and a combination of playstyles. And you'll also actually be able to submit your own times and see community reviews and playthrough notes and how long people are taking to just be able to finish some of these games. I actually go to how long to beat all the time just through my internet browser. So it's really cool that they're going to be adding it in right to the app. Right when you click on a game, as you can see here with this picture of Death Stranding right under there, it has all of the different styles of playthroughs and how long it takes to beat the game, and with all of those different styles. Now, Microsoft has this to say: we're committed to continuing to improve the performance and reliability on the app, and with that, they're going to be making the app actually faster. Continuing here, saying with the most recent update, the app now launches up to 15% faster, and we've also made some fixes for overall better responsiveness when you interact with key experiences in the app. And this is the big part that I'm happy that they are doing, and I'm hoping this makes a big difference, because when I launched the app on my PC, it runs fine, but it takes sometimes a decent amount of time to load, and it just sometimes freezes and stuff when I click on certain things. And I don't think it's an issue with my PC. I do actually believe it is something with the app, and they can recognize that here as they are making some changes. Now, those key experiences that are going to be improved is that they are going to have improvements to downloading and installing games, and have better search results too, which again, needed some improvements with the search results. Sometimes I'm typing stuff in, it just doesn't really come up exactly what I'm looking for. So hopefully that update there solves the issue. But the Xbox app on PC, I really like these small changes that they're making, especially that how long to beat, which I think is going to be very useful when you're trying to choose your next game. Sometimes you want to play a shorter game and you'll launch it and you realize it's going to be like a 60+ hour game in order to finish it. Now you won't have to worry about that by seeing all the statistics of how long people are taking to finish them. All right, it looks like Xbox players are finally going to be able to play Deathloop, which is a first-party Xbox game on Xbox. Now, we know the deal with Deathloop. It was a 1-year exclusive game to the PlayStation 5, or console exclusive game, and that deal was created before Activision purchased Bethesda. That's why it was still honored as Xbox when they made that deal, so they were going to honor all their existing deals. And then we saw a couple of weeks ago that Deathloop was coming to PlayStation Plus, their subscription service, and a lot of people were concerned if this meant that something else had happened where Deathloop was still going to be staying off of Xbox, and it looks like that is not the case, as there have been ads popping up on people's dashboards to actually go ahead and pre-order Deathloop. But when you click on it, it doesn't bring you to a store listing, but it looks like they actually just released the ad early. You can see it here with the Deathloop pre-order now. Now, this doesn't tell us anything about the release date, and it doesn't tell us anything about Xbox Game Pass. To me, It's great that it's obviously coming over to Xbox. I'm guessing soon they're going to put an announcement saying that the game is going to be available on this date. Go ahead and pre-order it. But what I really expect to see is during the next announcement for the Xbox Game Pass games, it is in that launch, and it should be coming sometime by the end of the month. So fingers crossed that Deathloop is going to be making its way over. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's just a lot of people asking questions right now because of the fact that, again, after it was exclusive for a year, it launches into PlayStation Plus. We haven't heard anything from Xbox, but this is pretty much, I guess, solving the mystery as to when or if this game is going to be coming over to the Xbox platform. That's it from me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the CMA furthering their investigation. When do you think Deathloop is going to be coming over to Xbox? What do you think about those enhancements to the Xbox app on PC and Hogwarts Legacy, that exclusive content? Are you happy about that? Are you going to be picking it up on PlayStation now because of that, or do you think it's a bad thing? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.